PJ Ramirez. Okay, we got the symmetrical. Got our nice Yanketo setup. Oh, it's time for probably a D4 move here. Hard not to. B5. Jeez. Ultra aggressive. Okay, so we take and then take again. The knight takes, I think knight d4 is quite strong. If the pawn takes, I was gonna go a4 because the b5 square looks really nice to me. Okay, we'll slot our knight in. Knight d6, you know, bishop f4. I'm thinking bishop f4 here. Rook b6. There is bishop or knight to c7. Rook c8, which looks admittedly more likely. I always have knight d6 if needed. I feel like he's already in trouble here. I mean, think about what I've done. Castled. All my minor pieces are out. My queen's on a nice position. Doesn't even need to develop, maybe. My opponent, so many moves away from castling. Always going to have a huge advantage in these cases. Okay, e5 played, but I'm gonna take this without much consideration. Yeah, bishop takes b5, but I am not feeling like this position is holding up in court, so to speak. Takes. I've got bishop c6 coming as soon as I can play it. Yeah. I'm sorry, bud, but bishop c6 is pretty much gonna put you out of business. I don't know how you survive this. Like, there's rook a8, there's bishop c6. I got all my pieces working. Again, he's only moved 2 pieces here that he's got on the board. This is rough. There's a full rook hanging. Rook a8 idea. Rook a7 might actually be more devastating than rook a8, just to take this successfully. All this from a little old English opening. Didn't know it was that good. Oof. Oof. Well, I mean, it's just so much material hanging here. Like, what's really the most winning? I'm trying to make sure I spot it, and I actually think queen d5 might be the most winning. I really do, because in this position, it's like that's the tender square. You can only defend it by going there, and we just take that. So I have a feeling somehow queen d5 is gonna be the answer. So we'll start by going here, and then go queen d5, or queen d5 and then take. But I think queen d5 is a really nasty move. His knight's pinned. He only has knight h6. Only move to even live to fight another day. Now, if I take that knight, then he castles, right? And then I'm winning, obviously, but the king is castled. I'm not delivering any mates or anything like that. So after knight h6, then we take this with a check. Force the king to move, and then take the knight, and then we've got a mate coming. It's not about this rook on b5. Like, my position is so good that if there's a full hanging rook on b5, and it's probably not even the top 3 moves to take it. That's how good it is. My opponent's thinking here, but I think it's kind of decided that knight h6 is the only move. Okay, he happens to miss it. We'll put him out of his misery there. That was a really ugly position for him. Here we go. We got the white pieces. We're battling another Canadian here, and I believe we have the newest highest rating that we've played against. Not a great connection from Canada there. Only 1 bar. We've seen this before. Main line and d5 straight away. Knight f3. If e4, we're gonna hit him with knight c3. And queen c6, we're gonna hit him with e3. All right, queen here. It's looking like a knight d4 kind of day. The only other move that I'd really consider is maybe knight h4. Check. But the correct move is queen a4 check. I mean, there's a real reason why what my opponent is doing is not popular, right? It's not supposed to happen where you go e5, d5, bring your queen to the center of the board, get chased around by knights, and it's just okay. Right? It just can't happen. It just can't. Let's take this. I'm up a pawn. Love trading queens. Knight b4 to c2 looks bothersome, so I just have to make sure I have an answer to that. I think I am gonna play a3. Feels like a small waste of time, but it's okay. It's okay. Castled. We're up like a very important pawn, a central pawn, so I'm not too concerned here. Okay, bishop to b2. I don't really want to allow that, but yeah, I will play this. G4, knight d2. We have enough squares for ourselves there. Bishop b2. That's covered. No, I'd like to maybe play rook e1 to relieve my knight of that duty, but knight c2 comes in, so gotta be wary of that. Got to be wary of that. If bishop h6, I have e3, which is important. I think we can play it now. I can also play rook e1, but e3 really feels okay. The knight moves, we play d4. Oh, that's a fancy move. Kind of like it for him. I mean, it's still good for me, but ooh, I thought maybe he was gonna take here. Yeah, this move I don't like for him so much. 95. Gotta be the only move. I'm gonna go here so that I keep my pawn. It is Smokahontas. I believe it is. The chat does seem dead right now. Is everyone preoccupied on Sunday? However, when the error message popped up, all of a sudden everyone started chatting and laughing at me. Haha. So I'm not sure. Is the chat dead? People definitely seem lethargic today. Knight here, check. Check. Doesn't work. Yeah, okay. Check. He's gonna win my knight on b5, so it's not like game over or anything like that. Rook takes g4 and bishop takes h8 is like a nice way to simplify, actually. So if he goes rook here, I think that's what we'll do. Here, knight h2 doesn't change anything. Yeah, this should always be good. Should always be, because I'm hitting this rook, so I feel like it should always be okay. Takes, and rook c1. Take the only open file in the position. This has to be okay. So many pawns. Yeah, and if I win this one, then we'll really be good. Guarding my only weakness in the position. I gotta be careful not to play rook c7, because, for example, that could be a stalemate somehow down the line. Right? For example, if I'm black right now, I'm probably playing this and that, just because it's a nice try for a stalemate. If he's able to play that, I would respect it. Gonna protect this. Take that, and we are so many pawns to the good right now. It's crazy how many pawns we have. This is too enjoyable. Too enjoyable. I am having way too much fun. You guys don't know what it feels like, all right? Being able to push this many pawns. It's a privilege. You don't always get this. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. Only pawns. Look at how they defeat the rook. An even trade? Can I interest you? I have to be able to compel my opponent to resign here. Yeah. When they see king b8, they know. They know. But it's king b8's the kind of move where you know you're playing against someone who's not right in the head. Like, when you see king b8 come out, it's clear. Your opponent is deranged. All right, we got the white pieces. We're motoring up the 1400s. Okay, we're gonna go with the usual, get the fianchetto in early, only d6. Let's go knight c3. Bishop here, a little bit strange, because it looks like a blunder. Very, very odd of my opponent. I gotta admit, I'm not terribly interested in taking here. Of course, that is the correct move, but what I'm interested in doing is just going here. I don't want your rook, man. I am happy just being up a pawn. That bishop's powerful. I'm not looking to throw it away here. Okay, castle. Wow, very aggressive by my opponent, considering he's not castled and he's not even close to castling. Plus, he's down a pawn. Like, slow your roll there, bud. Knight c6 is a huge threat here. I think my opponent is, he's just on that, I don't know, when you just don't have a good grasp of the position, you're just missing everything. It's not a good feeling. And I think he's in that spot right now. Hit the knight. Still hitting the rook, so I've got that for later. I have to say e4 looks pretty reliable here. I like e4 because it threatens to win a piece. And you think this is the only threat because I mean, it hits that bishop and it looks nice. But the bishop actually just simply has no squares. So d5 is actually a much better move. Yeah, I've got the two bishops as well, so I'm going to be up a full rook, and I'm going to have the bishop pair. And that should be conclusive. f4 is safe here because no matter what check happens, the knight goes here and we take it. So, and he's got the right idea that like normally this is the nasty stuff, you know, you get the knight in here, but it just doesn't work in this particular case. Queen e2 hits the knight, stops knight e3, so I'm probably going to do that move next. Unless he goes there and makes me think about queen b3, trying to force a queen exchange. Because if queen a6, the only move to hang on to the knight, strangely, I think I have bishop to b7. Really weird move, but it forces the queen away. And yeah, this we'll just take, trade the queens, and say we're up a rook, man. Can't compete with that. And there's no rook a8 as well. Easiest thing to do would just be to trade rooks, so I'll probably look to do that. Let's put this bishop on g6. And instead of trading, let's bring the rooks down. We should be able to kind of punch home a victory here with f5 and e6. GG to Can Shelby. After our survival in the previous game, yeah, our opponent just makes a mistake here, just allowing this. And after knight d7, I think d3 or b3 is just, these are the simple moves. Just keep your material. And the computer actually agrees, by the way. Even the computer says b3, d3, those are the best moves in the position. Taking the rook's great, but it's not a top move. Let's go for another one here. c4. Yeah. g3 and bishop g2. I wonder if he'll play e5. Definitely looks tempting. No, he's just gonna go for e6. And a few people have done this move after e6, and I can never... Yeah, this move is never gonna be good, and you should always react to it. Anytime you can move your center pawn up 2 squares into the middle and hit a piece with tempo, it's like you always got to do that, right? That's just, you got to do that, period. I'm castling here. Maybe a3, b4, bishop b2. Yeah, unfortunately for him, he's really getting the wrong idea of the opening here. That bishop is suffering. Tempo, tempo, and after he goes there, that move is gonna follow. And unfortunately for him, this doesn't help at all. He's actually now gonna lose 2 pieces. And he's not gonna lose 2 pieces because of queen a4 check. Because then c6 guards the bishop. But he's gonna lose because of b4. Yeah, not a good start for the position here. Not a good start. Okay, I'm gonna go here because if something blocks, I want to push c6, remove it, and then play bishop a3. And I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, but my opponent is really gonna hate me here. But he can't castle. Ugh. This is just cruel at this point. Not being able to castle is maximum frustration in this position. Let's take this. Likely force the move bishop c4. Knight e5. Hit the bishop. Queen c5 would be really unpleasant to face next as well. And if it wasn't going bad enough, it just lost another piece. This is not what my opponent signed up for. Because again, 2 checkmates are threatened here. Knight d6 and queen f7 is a 3rd checkmate. This is very one-sided, unfortunately. And yay, we got our we got our chess.com bug. Slash, I don't know what's causing this bug. Although every time that screen pops up, people chat more. It increases the chat engagement. Continuing. Another c4. Main line. C6. So again, important to remember what to do whenever we see c6 and d5 is a threat. Must attack the e5 pawn somehow. So there we go. We've done what we needed to do. Let's bring the knight out. Bishop, get castled. And how do we want to do this? I'll go d3. There's a lot of ways to play with like e4, d4, but again, I usually like to keep the positions a little more English centric. b4. I kind of like b4. You might need preparation though. b4, queen b3, rook c1. Yeah, the reason I like b4 is because I like playing b5, and trading these bishops eventually would be a good thing for me. So that's actually something I'm interested in, which is why I'm gonna go here and just actually encourage it. This bishop is always ready to trade off. It's never really an issue. Take, or even just start with this. I think take first. This is, I mean, this is as good as things are gonna get, really, in terms of a knight. You know, knight on d5 doesn't get much better than that. So knight d5, a4, a5, and you know, use the a file. Seems like our plan. So tempting to do that, but our knight is too good, I think, even to be given up there. Too good. Let's play queen d2. It makes a threat of taking and taking on h6. So now I think he might have to go something like that. And then it also supports a4, a5, which is nice. This is gonna look really good now. a4, a5. I'm not too interested in having a queen there, so for that reason, king g2 is gonna be my move. Again, not super keen on that, but to be honest, doesn't look super interesting. I have rook h1. Here, takes, queen g4 is a draw, so I don't want to allow a draw. I also don't really want to allow that, so I will play this, takes, and rook h1, and then I'll take the h pawn. But he goes back, queen e2. Hey, your pawn's hanging, gotta play g6. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the public service announcement. Got him. But we were just seconds away. You know, he was gonna go queen f5 or something, whatever, but we were about to uncork this. And I know it doesn't look like a big plan, but once we do that, there's no way he can leave a pawn there. Then we bring our rook in, knight there. He's gotta have, like, you know, multiple pieces somehow defending that pawn. He can barely move. Then we just keep adding the pressure, right? Bring the rook over, rook in, infiltrate. Now if he takes us, we just take back and double, and what's he doing about a7? So, kind of trouble. All right, couple more games. A couple more games after this. All right, we are playing someone from the Philippines. We're gonna go C4. Freeze, thanks for the 23 months, buddy. And wow, what a popular move. What a popular move. What a popular blunder. Buddy, you can't be doing that. It's too easy for me now. Look for this. Yeah, 1600 is our highest rated opponent. And actually, it's because he's high rated that he fell for this. Because a low rated player after this would just take it back. A high rated player understands that it's dumb to have your queen there, right? And it just gets targeted. So he plays knight here because he wants to take with the knight. But then he thinks that I'm a low rated player and I'm just blundering my center pawn when actually he's just dead. So he's a victim of his own success. Could take this, but I feel like taking this is better. It stops him from castling in both directions. I just like this one more. Too smart for his own good. Exactly. That's probably a capture there. Let's get our king out of dodge. Queen again, stopping him from castling in both directions. So I would say fairly effective. Let's play d3. I want to make sure that my pieces can definitely move this game. Like, I don't care about this pawn. I want my bishop to be able to move. I'm up a full piece, so any trades would be very welcome. Queen g8, rook f8, queen g7. Oops. All right, so we're up a full piece. So that's why, I mean, any trade that I can see on the board, I'm going to be snapping up. That looks like another one. I mean, now that I have an escape square, I can even throw in this one into the mix. Like this. Rook c2, rook c1, rook there, knight b6 is an unfortunate situation I can see happening. And yeah, he definitely doesn't want to trade with me. We got squares for my knight. We'll hit him with a nasty blockade here, which I don't think he'll enjoy. Then we'll play b3 to solidify the knight, and we'll look to mate him like that. Okay, everything kind of really went according to plan this game. Really went according to plan. And it was worth 10 points this game, so we actually ended up at 1,500 flat. 1,500 on the dot. Got him with the hook, mate. GG.
Let's get it.